Today I'm going to do a tutorial on a green eye that I'm going to do with the 777 palette from Playing in Makeup with Yolando by Yolando. And this is the palette here. So we are just going to, and as always, you can do this with any color. So I'm going to do like a top halo look. So where there's dark here, lighter color up here, and then we're going to do a shimmer in the middle. So what I do, some people start from the top. I like to start from the bottom. I just find it a lot easier for me. So I'm going to start with the darker color here, and then I'm going to go to this color in the light, and then we're going to do a shimmer in the middle. So I'm going to take the darkest color, I'm going to tap into that, and as my brushes as usual are stained, okay? So I'm just going to go down on the bottom, and we're just going to go in the corner of the eye, because the bottom is going to be dark and then the top is going to be lighter. So we're just going to tap that in, and I'm going to go above my crease. My crease is right here, and then of course with the folds right here, and then we're just going to go above that because we want the color to be seen. I always like to do mine a little bit higher because of the hooded eye, because otherwise you're not going to see a lot of that color. You're just going to see like a little bit of itty bitty green over the top of my natural crease, and that's it. So for me, I find that it doesn't give the full effect of the eye makeup that I'm doing, so I always go a little bit higher. So I'm going to go up here. Notice how you can see the green no matter what. And then I'm going to obviously do the same thing on the other side. Just going to tap, tap, tap. And again, you're going to see me moving my head a little bit because I can't really grip with the hand. So just going to go like that. I'm just bracing it. My thumb can't grip, so I just brace it against my thumb and then actually use my fingers and my head to just kind of move it around. So we're just going to go up, and again going to go up above that area, try to make them the same, so just slightly up, and then of course making sure that you get the lid area saturated with color as well. Go over here and try to make them go the same distance, right? If you find out that it's not later, we can always fix that, but always try to get it generally around the same to begin with. Then we're going to go on the outer corner, and then we're going to go here and start patting and try to make it approximately the same height. So those are approximately the same height right there. And just kind of eyeball it, see, like that. And then again, because you've got the hooded eyes, you're gonna have that part in the middle that doesn't have anything because, well, your hood kind of covered it, right? So we're gonna do that. Make sure that it goes in there. I sometimes put color like right on the tip and make sure that it goes in here. And if you have like hoods that like fold over as well, the same thing. So you want to keep that dark color, but you want to make sure that it gets underneath that fold, right? Because you don't want to be looking in a certain direction and all of a sudden there's like no color there, right? And all of a sudden, and also it does the double service of also sort of detracting from your hood. So we're going to go here on the other side and do the same thing and tap it up. So I like to make sure it's about the same. Again, I'm tapping on the top, on the tip of the brush, and I'm making sure that I'm getting the part that's underneath that crease right there. And you don't have to worry about getting it too exact right now, because like I said, we can always fix it later if it's not, okay? So don't be scared if it's not the same. So I'm just going to bring it over a little, because if you know what these looks look like, it'll be just like shimmer right here in the middle. So you don't want to make it too thin and you don't want to make it too wide. So we just want to come over just a little bit. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Actually, this side is going to have to come in a little bit more. And you want to get that saturation of color so it looks about the same. Okay, so like this. Then I'm just going to brush off my brush. I just use a little towel. Right now I'm just using a Kleenex. I'm just going to get that dark color off. And then I'm going to go into the lighter color here. So one of the tricks of this look, if you don't want it to get muddy, is you want to make sure that the next color that you're putting on is a couple shades lighter than the color that you just used. Otherwise, what happens if it's too close to this color, it's just going to look muddy. You're not going to be able to see a distinct difference in the colors. And so we're just going to go here and we're going to go to the top of where this is right here, and we're just going to start putting this color. Okay, so we're just taking it over the edge of the first one and just going up here. And see how there's not a huge difference, but it's enough of a difference that you're seeing that placement of color. So just going to go here. And I always have a habit of like doing one side and then going exactly over and doing the other side. Some people do one whole entire eye and do the next eye, but I don't know. This is just my way of doing it. Once you've done it and you know how to do it, like, you don't have to do it like that. That's just my thing. So everybody has their own way, and you can just use the way that's best for you. And then I'm going to go in and we're going to do up here as well. So we're going to go up. So we're just going to get to the top of the first color that we put, okay? And then, don't mind me, I'm just looking in my mirror. So we're just going to go like that. And then we're going to go here and do the same thing. And go just to the top. And then go across. And over in this side here, to me, I find that I've gone down a little bit too much with the lighter color. So I'm just going to go add some darker color right here. And I think this one is okay. I'll add a little bit there as well. But like, you see how you see the differences in the color. So you want to make sure that you have colors that are enough apart that you can see that distinct color. And then what I'm going to do is going to take a fluffy one. Again, it's just stained. And then I'm just going to lightly just go across the tops. Okay. Right here. And then I'm going to do the same over here. So we just kind of want it to still keep separate, but we want it to be able to be seen as well, okay? So then I'm going to go back to my original brush and I'm going to pick a color that I want to put in the shimmer there. And I always go kind of goldy greeny. So let me just see what this one is like. Maybe I will try this color for a change. I'll put this color and then maybe put a little bit of that on top. So I'm going to grab this, make sure I get a good bit of that on, and then I'm going to close my eye and see I've got the line right there. And then this particular palette, Makeup with Yolanda, her shimmers are like really good. You can put them on without using any glue, and they're still, or adhesive to like make it stick. They just kind of just go on, which I absolutely love because it makes it a lot easier. Some of them, they're not this glittery unless you know, like, they don't want to stick. And if you find that you have a shimmer that does that, I suggest that you try doing it with your fingers. So a lot of times I find that when I go to put them on and they just kind of come on sort of clear, or they don't really stick to my eye, when I do use my fingers and put it on and then apply it, then it applies much better. Or always you can use like a glitter glue. And of course that's going to make it stick because, well, it's glue. So we're just going to add this like that. Make sure I put some on the lid too, because I really like to have it like really show. Especially because I have hooded eyes, I really want this area to show right here. So going up like that and making sure you're going up to the middle in between the two so that you can see it. So isn't that pretty? Her shimmers like are really, really nice. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take just a little bit, excuse me here. I'm gonna take a little bit of setting powder and I'm going to put it on my brush, and then I'm gonna go along the top, okay? Just to kind of buff out the edges. So I'm just putting a little bit of setting powder, that's it. Still gonna pat it on my hand, and then I'm gonna go over here and just go along the tops, just to kind of have it a little bit more faded into each other. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, obviously. Tap, 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 and I'm going to do it on the other side. And see in the front there, if you can see, it's kind of like a stark line. So I'm going to do again, I'm going to take that little bit of powder and try to use like either a translucent powder or one that is close to the color of your skin. So the one that I'm using, it's by Wet n Wild, and it's the HD Photo Ready, and I've got it in banana because I've got like a kind of goldy brown kind of color to me, so then it's not so stark. And so that is that. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to do my face makeup, and then I'll be right back. So I'm back, and as you see, I've changed my clothes, still have the same wrap on. I put on my foundation, a little bit of contour, and some blush, and my lipstick as well, but the eyes are exactly the same. I haven't changed anything. So now to do the bottom. Now you can choose to do it several ways. You can leave it as is, you can put like a neutral color along the bottom, or what you can also do, which is what I think I'm gonna do for this one, is to basically do the same colors along the bottom. So not the lighter color because it's all the way up here, but to make it look cohesive about the bottom, I'm going to put the darker green color here and put a little bit of shimmer in the middle. Just because I like it. You can choose to do different ways. You can try it out different ways and see what you like, but we're going to go with that for right now. So again, I'm going to do this color here, and I'm just taking this brush, which is probably a little bit too big, but I'm still changing around my makeup desk. I can't find, like, all my brushes are like everywhere, so I'm just going to go and I'm just going to put that darker color on either side. So I'm just going to stamp it in. So it's going to match the top, okay? So I'm going to stamp it in here. I'm going to stamp it in here as well. Get that dark green in there. I'm going to do it here on the other side. Oops, sorry, I'm putting my head down too low. I'll get better at these, I swear. And I'm just going to stamp it in here. Like, I'm going to try to get like a better setup too, where it's easier for me to do these. I was like literally deathly afraid of like doing videos and stuff like that, and then I just started doing them, so I'm getting a little bit more comfortable, but because I never did them, I don't have the setup for them either, so you'll have to bear with me. I will get better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the shimmer as well. So as you can see, it's going to be the same thing on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to put shimmer in the middle, just like it is on the top. Okay, I'm going to put it like right here. And then I'm going to put shimmer right there as well. So you see how it's like the darker green on either side and then the shimmer in the middle. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit smaller of a brush. So I'm going to, I took a little one like this, really small and pointy on the end, and I'm going to just try and concentrate that shimmer a little bit more. Like I said, I'm having difficulty because I was changing my makeup desk around, trying to find a new one, and so my brushes are kind of all over the place. So these aren't the best brushes to do it with. If you have a smaller brush, I highly suggest that you use that instead. And then I'm going to put it along the middle here and along the bottom here. So you've got the same sort of color on the top as you have on the bottom. And if you don't want it to be as prominent up here, you can also take a neutral color and just sweep it across the top. So I don't mind it. I like it to have that kind of 3D kind of sticking out sort of look. So that doesn't bother me at all. So I'm just going to leave it at as is right there. And then just to do a little something, I'm just going to try this. We'll see if it works. You guys, you're watching, you know, with me as I go. I'm going to try putting a little bit of this goldy color. So I'm going to try and take a decent amount of that onto this brush. And I'm going to try and just to kind of give it a little extra oomph in the middle. Like, it doesn't make a huge bit of a difference, but it's just like that little striking look in the middle. If you can see that, you see how you can see it? It's got that like little gold in the middle of the green there. And I'm sure most people probably won't notice, but I notice and I just kind of like it. I like it when it has that almost kind of like lightning strike down the middle of the color that you did. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just putting it here, putting a little bit of just sort of a lightning strike, you know, in the middle of that color. And I'll do that as here as well. Obviously I'll just need to put like a little dot, and that's it. And so look at how bright that looks. It just adds like a little bit of extra shimmer in there. I'm gonna put that aside, and then we're going to go for eyeliner. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do a wing for this. I'm just going to put it across. So all I'm going to do is go across the bottom of my lid. So when I'm doing my eyeliner, I know I hold it weird because of my thumb, but you would hold it, of course, with your thumb and forefinger or whatever you feel comfortable with. And what I do is I put the liner sideways. I don't try to put it on pointed ways. I put it so that it's laying this way when I go to apply it. And then I look down and lift my chin slightly up, because then that gives me, I'm like, I see where the tops of my lashes are so that I can get a thin line that's going all the way across. So you see how that line is? It's not thick, it's not anything, it's just making the tips of like my lashes darker. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. This is the hard side for me. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look down, and then I'm going to tip my chin up. And then I'm just going to go across the top. And then it just makes my lashes look like they're darker. but I don't have like this really thick line or anything there. I just want it that way for this particular one because I don't want to detract from all that's going on here. And I think I have enough going on here with the green and the gold. And then I'm just going to put some lashes on. Mascara, I mean, I have a really hard time with lashes. Have yet to figure out how to do them with my hands on a consistent basis, so I'm not going to make you suffer through that. So with the lashes, again, you're going to hold it how you normally hold it. For me, I go like this and I shimmy and then I go up. And I try and roll, but rolling is really hard for me to do with my wrist, so I tend to just go up and down with my head just to kind of get it on there. So this is a mascara I just kind of got. It's called J Got, and it's Cat's Eye Perfect Volume. And I see now that it's not really giving any volume, but now you live and learn, right? So I'm just gonna, I try to shimmy and then go down to try and get it to have a little more volume. And then I'm going to go obviously to the other side and do the same thing. Shimmy with my head and then go down. For those with able hands, you would shimmy and then roll. I'm going to try and do it for you so that you can see. So what you would do is you would shimmy and then you would roll it up. Like roll it up with your wrist. It's just that I can't do that because it's difficult for me to do. Okay, so I just basically go up and down. And I've noticed, I want to show you, everybody makes mistakes, right? So see how, because I did that, I've messed up that mess. There's a little bit of mascara right there. People aren't really going to be able to see it unless I go like this, but still, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it dry, and then I'm going to take like a clean spoolie or a Q-tip once it's dried, and you can literally just flick it away without messing any of your makeup up. So you're going to go on the other side again. I generally go on the tips as well and go like this. I do this basically just out of habit. I find that it helps also to have the lashes go up longer. This is just something that we've been doing since the 80s, where you just like take the tip of the wand and just go along the lashes, and it makes them go up higher. And the thing with my lashes too is they're crazy. They go all over the place. They don't just go straight up, which is like very irritating and messes up. So one eye never looks the same because my lashes like literally just decided that they're just going to grow in any way, shape, or form that they choose. So just going like this. And then I'm going to go along the bottom and just go lightly like that. And you know, always with the mascara face, right? And then also going like this down on the bottom with just the tip. Oops, just did that one too, sorry about that. But I'm gonna fix that the same way. So mascara is like, with my hands, is literally one of the hardest things to do. It's just, it's not easy when your hands don't work properly to do it. So this should be dry, so I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. So you see right here, go like that and that, and it's gone, and it didn't wreck my eyeshadow. So just wait till it dries. Your instinct is to just go right away and try and get it off because you're like, oh, and then what happens is it will just create, if you've ever done it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It will just create a hot mess for you. So don't do that. And then I'm just going to go across like this. Another kind of 80s trick that we used to do. Just going across the top. Going like this. And then going back in this direction again. And along the bottom, I also go like that. It actually makes them go longer. So you're just kind of sweeping across the lashes and then going down. It makes them longer, or appear longer anyway. And then here, I'm going to go to this one. It should be dry by now. So let me just clean that off before I mess it up after I told you all that. I'm just going to go like that, and I just flick, and see, now it's gone, and it didn't mess up my makeup at all. So this is the halo look, and you can do this with any color. The key points is just to make for me, I start with the bottom. I just find it a lot easier. It's a lot easier for me to blend that way, so I start with the darkest color on the bottom. Make sure that the color that you're putting on top of the first color is at least a couple hues away from the color that you're doing on the bottom. Otherwise, it's just going to look muddy. So if you have two colors that are just too close together, people can't see the distinct difference, and it just looks like you've just got this blur of stuff that's on your eye. So you want it to be like, see, you can definitely distinctly tell this top color from this color here, and then find yourself a nice shimmer to put in the middle. So I hope you guys found this helpful. If there's anything else that you'd like me to do, please let me know. I'd be happy to try and do it for you, and I hope you guys are having a great day.